Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's talk about the Zim Dollar. Got into a nice little group conversation. People were asking me why I don't have a Zim Dollar. Is there any news on the Zim Dollar? And then they were a little surprised when I said, well, you know what? You might actually have Zim Dollars right now. That could be worth thousands and you don't even know about it. Yep, that's the truth. We're going to go over that here in just a moment. Before I get started, though, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. First, real quick on the Zim Dollars over there in Zimbabwe. You know, the problem is with the Zim Dollar, the governments are pretty corrupt, and they don't even follow their own laws. And what I mean by that is, you know, they tell everybody other currencies besides the Zim Dollar, that's the only legal currency. All the other ones are outlawed. And that's a pretty good thing to do. If you want to build up faith in your currency and strengthen it, you got to get the locals to start using it. But if they're using other currencies because you allow other currencies into your nation, well, then people are more likely to take the other currency if you have a weak currency. The Zim Dollar is very weak. As a matter of fact, the only currency they have is not even a legitimate currency. It's only used locally, and that's it. It's not even recognized by the international community. I spoke about that. Caught all kinds of flack about that, because everybody's buying them $100 trillion bills that ain't worth a crap. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm going to show you something that I think you'll like. Some of you, because I've seen pictures of some of your Zim Dollars, and you might be sitting on a Zim Dollar that's worth some buku bucks. Before I get into that, though, again, so right now the inflation is increasing again in Zimbabwe. The locals are not using the Zim Dollars, they're using US dollars. And heck, now the Zimbabwe government is telling people to go ahead and use the US dollar. So yeah, you know, the Zim Dollar is dead as far as I'm concerned. People always ask me how come I don't have any. I didn't think much of the Zim Dollar. And I thought of all the currencies out there, that one was the furthest away from ever seeing any type of revaluation. But having said that, I might actually be picking up some Zim Dollars here pretty soon. Not because of an RV, but for other reasons. Most people know I collect coins and deal in currencies. I'm a collector. And that's the area I'm talking about when it comes to the Zim Dollar. But as far as the dollar over there and any news, there's no news. It just keeps getting worse. Anyways, look at this. Yeah, this is legitimate. This is PMG. They're a company that grades currencies. And if you get a really good score, the currency could be worth a lot of money. Now, in this case, the reason why this person is trying to sell this for $12,500, it's because it has a high score. That's 66 out of 70, 70 being the best, but it's also a replacement. It's a star note. Now, the star notes for Zim is different than the star notes for the United States. See, these bills that have the little stars at the end of the serial numbers, those are called replacement notes. Usually what happens is as they're printing out the dollars, something happens, it gets stuck, jammed, there's a flaw in the dollar, whatever reason, they decide they need to send the currency back to be reprinted. Now by law, they can't use the same serial number despite the fact that it's been damaged. So what they do is they use most of the serial number, and at the very end, they put a star. Well, these are collectible. Some of these you have are really, really rare. I have a $20 star note that there's only one of 150,000. Now that doesn't sound rare to you, but it is, because most of them are in the millions. And they have to be in great shape. See how these ones are all crinkled up? But there are people out there that collect star notes no matter what condition they're in. Now this one here with the red stamp or blue stamp or a gold stamp, heck, you get one of those with a low number and a star note, those are worth some buku bucks. So yeah, you definitely want to look out for your dollar bills. If you get a brand new, just save it. So that's our version of the star note. I'll show you the version of the star note for the Zim Dollar. So here you go. You have a regular banknote that comes from Banknote World. Now they sell uncirculated versions, you can see right here, of the Zim dollar in this particular protection sleeve. Now, if you think it looks in immaculate shape and there's no problems with it whatsoever, you can send it into PCGS and have them grade it, or PMG. If you get a high score, well, then it's worth a little money. I'll show you how much here in just a moment. So this is in great shape. It really is. This is the kind of bill that I would send in to get graded. Notice the serial number here has an AA and then a bunch of numbers. This is what we call a fancy note. See all those twos? Yeah, there's people out there, there's a niche for this. When you have all the numbers and the same numbers, and there's a bunch of different versions of fancy numbers, but I'm just showing this one. This is called a replacement or a star note. This is Zimbabwe's version of the star note. And how you can tell is if you go over here where the serial number is, it has a ZA in the beginning. The Z is the star. Those are even more rare. This particular one was already sent in to be graded. It received a 67 score. That's really good. Plus they identified it as a star note. Now the reason why these are collectibles is a star note. Now that's a lot more rare of a dollar bill, especially if you can get one in good condition. There's collectors out there that want these. Well, now this is immaculate. Look at this. That's a 70 score. That's perfect. This is the one you want to have. If you can get any of them, you send them in and get it graded, and you get a perfect score. There's no better than that 70 score. Now, the only thing that would top this right now is if you got a 70 PPQ with the ZA. Now, let me show you what they go for, these notes. So you can see right here, you can go on eBay and see these. This particular Zim dollar was graded already by PMG. I got a 66 score. It's a star note. It's selling for $899. This is a set of a 5-piece. So you can go in there, and this one has a certificate of authenticity, which is nice. So you want ones that are uncirculated, immaculate condition, beautiful, sharp, crisp. Don't touch it with your hands. Make sure you get a protector for it. But I'm showing you that they're here. Okay, so like I said, this Zim dollar, a $100 trillion bill, is already graded with a 66 as a star note. This person is asking for $12,500. Over here, you have another person who has the same score, 66. So here they're now selling it for $8,800. Now here you go. This is a PMG score of 64. That's actually low. That's not good. But it is selling for $170. Here's a 66 score, uncirculated, selling for $202. So on average, I see 66 and 67 scores that are around the $200 mark. So if you send it in and get it graded, and you get that kind of score, you can expect around 200. The reason why people collect these ones, because this particular series of Zimbabwe dollars, there weren't that many of them that were printed. So there's a low amount of these dollars that were actually created, believe it or not. Look at this one. This is a 68 score, and it's selling for $400. This gives you an idea of what the Zim dollar gets once it's graded. But if you can find a star note that's a serial number that has a ZA on the front of it, well, then it's got more value to it. So you can see this comes with a certificate of authenticity. Now, if you look right here, look in the corners, right? So look in the bigger picture over here to the right. Look at the corners of these. It's $50 trillion. See the corners, how they're black and they're bent up? You can't get a good score with those. So I wouldn't want these ones at all. They have to be sharp, crisp, with no scratches, no folds on them, no folds down the middle, no bent corners, no rounded corners, without it being frayed. Okay, frayed means like, it's ridges that look like somebody been rubbing on them. Okay, so here you go. We have two Zimbabwe $50 trillion, same as the other one, but let's take a look. Comes with a certificate of authenticity. See that? Oh, what else do you notice about this? Look at the corners. Nice, sharp, clean. They're not bent like in the other one we saw. Yeah, these are nice looking bills. Look at corners are sharp. Yeah, that's something that I would get right here. So they're selling two of them for 129 bucks. So if you intend on sending them in and getting graded, they come with a certificate. You can include that with the graded version of this, but these are sharp. This is definitely what you want. Here's the other one. Look, remember I was telling you about the corners? See the corners over here in the big picture? See how they're darkened and they're bent up? See this one here, how they're crisp, sharp, flattened? bent, flattened, this is what you want like this. Now, if you can get lucky and find somebody selling them like this, and it's got a ZA in front of it, oh man, there you go, right there. Those are collectibles. So usually if you come over here and just put Zimbabwe dollars, you could filter them. See, like uncirculated, that's what I would want. So these should be in immaculate condition. Shouldn't be no issues. 2008, I think, are the low mintage years, but you need to look them up to find out. Sometimes you find people selling you packs of Zim dollars. You can get like a pack of 100 of them or so. But you can see most of these people will sell you 2 or 3 for about $100, unless they're all beat up. And that's because these people are collectors. They know better. So they run out there and they look for bundles of Zim dollars. Some of you guys know where to get them. So if you could find, like I said, some Zim dollars that have a ZA serial number on them, if somebody's selling them, just say, send me some pictures. And if you see a bundle of them, tell them, that's the one you want to buy with the ZA on there. So yeah, be careful because these are uncirculated, but the corners are bent. So they obviously are being touched by hands. And you don't want that. You want them nice, sharp, and clean. And make sure when you're talking to the people you buy them from, that's exactly how you're getting them. So not all Zim dollars are worthless. If they're beat up, if they've been wrinkled, if they've been handed, if they're circulated, they don't have no real value to them. But if you get these really sharp, uncirculated Zim dollars, and you want to send them in and get it graded and take a roll of a dice, you want at least a 68, 69, or 70. If you get that on a grade, man, you're sitting pretty. They're worth a whole lot more. See here again, you got a 68 from PMG, $129. Now PMG will go ahead and grade any of your monies. Now look at this person selling 100 pieces of authentic Zim dollars, 50 trillion of them. I mean, $50 trillion. He's selling 100 of them, $7,950. Isn't that crazy? Let's see what we're doing here. This comes directly from the central bank. Is what the picture is showing us. So they're already wrapped, but you can tell they've been circulated. You can see how dirty they are. And what's this person saying? Uncirculated? Nope, it doesn't even say uncirculated. So they're selling you circulated ones. It's not worth it to me. I wouldn't pay that much for those. Look at this. 2 Zimbabwe $100 trillion banknotes. You have a 69 score and a 70. This person wants $2,599. 2 outstanding scores for the Zim note. I'm checking the seats because sometimes what happens is people won't know no better, but not pay attention to the serial numbers. So you can see they go for some good money if you get a high score. And most of you have these stacks of uncirculated Zim dollars. Man, it's beautiful. But the only way you're going to get some real money off them, you definitely need to send them in and get it graded. Go to PCGS or go to PMG, but you better make sure you have a beautiful, conditioned, well-centered, no creases, no fingerprints, Zim dollar to get graded. So then you can get your money's worth, you know what I mean? So anyways, you guys, look, not all Zim dollars are worthless. If you have them in uncirculated condition, people spend more money to buy them from you. You get to sell them on eBay. They're not worthless. If you have Zim dollars that you think are immaculate, perfect, no corners, no damage on the corners, no folds, no nothing, no scratches, and you want to take a gamble, don't send in a whole bundle of them. Maybe you send in 1 or 2 of them and see what kind of grade you get. But you get one of these perfect 70 scores on a Zim dollar. Those are collectibles because this particular year, 2008, not very many of them were printed at all. And I believe it's Series A. Series A, I might be wrong. But just do your research, you guys. It tells you which ones it is. But then that's the currency you want. And if you can find one that's immaculate, even better. Have a Z for a star note. And you send it in and get a 70. Yeah, that's worth some buku bucks. Anyways, that's it for now. I thought I would share that with you. People were asking me about it. So I will get at you later. I'm out.